Hi, welcome to Aquilina. We're here with superstar Dana Brooke. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are so honored to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Okay, so I noticed your hair. The first thing I noticed was amazing.
Thank you. Thanks to Aqua Extensions.
Okay, so Zan, tell us, where's home for you? Like, where are you born?
Okay, I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I know the 216. And then with WWE, I moved down to Orlando, and I was in Orlando for 5 years, training down there, getting into the groove of things. Absolutely loved it. But then I'm like LeBron James. I took my talents down south, and I ended up in Boca Raton, Florida for a little bit.
Okay.
And then I moved to the 305 with my fiance, and I've been there ever since.
So you've been here in Miami ever since.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I travel a lot for a living, so cold is not for me. So every time I come home, I feel like I'm on vacation.
Oh, so your family is still in Cleveland?
Yes, I have my mom and dad, and also a younger sister who's 30. She's up in Cleveland. So I try and go home often, but try to avoid it during the wintertime for sure.
Yeah. So when did you, like, a young Dana, like when in Cleveland, when did you fall in love with like fitness and like I guess health? Because I mean, everything makes me want to go to the gym when I see you.
So I started gymnastics at the age of 2 with taught and parent classes. So I was always active. I was like, always bouncing off the walls. And my mother and father were like, hey, you definitely have to do something. They put me in gymnastics. And I did gymnastics for about 18 years. Traveled around the world. I went to the Junior Olympics at the age of 12. Competed all around the world for gymnastics, and long story short, injuries stopped my career. And I had reconstructive ankle surgery. I was all banged up. And my doctor was like, listen, by the age of 35, you might not be able to walk the way you're going. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do with my life? And I went into diving. So, running off a springboard and diving into water. As a female, I hated getting my hair wet, obviously. And it was freezing back in Cleveland, Ohio. So I was like, you know what, gymnastics isn't my thing. But my parents always instilled in me I had to go to school. I had to go and figure out what I was going to do with my life. So I went into fashion for college. I graduated Kent State University with a degree in fashion design and merchandising and a bachelor's of science and a minor in marketing. So I was constantly, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But my life was always in the gym and always being active. So I transitioned into bodybuilding and fitness. So I got my IFBB Pro card, which I'm a professional, bodybuilder, fitness competitor, and I was traveling all around the world doing that. Fell in love with it, but the dieting was so hard. It was like I had to eat every 2 hours. I had to be in the gym. I had to wake up and do fasted cardio. It was just so much. But that's the way, I made my bread and butter. I didn't like working a 9 to 5, so I definitely transitioned into fitness full time. And I was in Spain and competing. WWE was recruiting people, and they fell in love with me. They were like, hey, are you interested in wrestling? And I'm like, wrestling? Like, what are you talking about, wrestling?
So
like,
it accidentally happened? Like,
yeah,
oh, wow.
Yeah. I was like, amateur wrestling? I've never wrestled a day in my life. They're like, no, WWE. And I was like, oh my God, I would love to. But I don't know how. And they're like, no, come down to Orlando, or Tampa at the time, and, try out. I tried out and I fell in love, and here I am 10 years later.
And this is when you were in Spain?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
God, that's like a dream.
Yeah, it was truly amazing. I always say life's like a puzzle piece. Every piece in your life is a journey, and at the end of it, it all creates one picture while the puzzle pieces are kind of trying to fit together. And, I'm still to this day, figuring out each piece of my puzzle. And at the end of the day, I hope it makes a beautiful, picture at the end of it.
So I look at your social media, I look at your background. I definitely see the fashion installed in you. Like, yes. I definitely see that you have this excellent sense of style.
I mean, coming from you, look at you, head and toe Prada. No. Yeah,
I don't compete with Dana. I try, but I see that in the ring too. Like, when I look at your opponent, like, your style is always on point. Is that important to you in your presentation?
Definitely. You know, I always say in life, appearance is everything, especially first appearance. When you look at someone, you want to be well put together from head to toe. So I always take that into consideration, but I always like to be outside of the box. I always like to be different. Doing the photo shoot today, I was like coming in with an open mind, with like different ideas. I was like, oh my God, I hope they like it. So I'm always trying to be outside of the box, stay up with the latest trends. And that's just me. That's who I am. And in WWE, in the ring too, we get full, ability to create our gear and be able to do things differently. So I always try and do stuff, outside of the box. Again, it's so different in the ring because the outfits that you're wearing, you're not just posing for a photo shoot. You have to move around. You have to be agile. So I've definitely had a couple accidents on live television with a nip slip or my gear untying or something like that. So it's embarrassing, but hey, we keep on moving.
Do you work with a team to create your outfits, or you totally? Okay.
Yeah, we have actually seamstresses at behind the scenes at WWE 24/7, and also I work with a gear designer. She's out of Miami. Her name is Neri. And she lives like 2 minutes away from my house, so it's super easy. She knows my style. She knows my sizes, so she'll be like, "Hey, come in for a quick fitting," and she'll pin things on me. With my fashion background too, I always am super creative in my mind. I just don't have the time to actually create my own gear. In fitness, I used to make my own costumes and my posing gear, but I'm always on the road, so it's hard to gain access to a sewing machine to make my gear.
I want to tell you from my own perspective, and I don't care what people say, but when I watched WWE, I think you were the most entertaining, like male or female. Like you were the most.
Thank you.
You're like flying from the ropes and jumping from here and there. You're like Spider-Man out there. Like how flexible you are and how you do it. I just want to give you your flowers on that part. Like
Thank you so much.
The most entertaining on that show, and
it means a lot to me. It really does. With that being said, I try and do everything that's handed to me, as far as if they want me to do this role, if they want me to do that role, if they want me to fly off the top rope. I'm always open for any ideas. I've been, married on TV. I've been a protege on TV. Someone ruined my wedding on TV. So it's like I'm always trying,
your whole life is there.
Yeah. And gymnastics has helped so much from being able to fly off the top ropes. Ever since I was a little girl, I was fearless. And now here I am, 33, about to be 34, and fearless. But at the end of it, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, do you see what I'm putting myself through? And then at the end of the match backstage, when the adrenaline wears off, I'm like, oh my God, my body hurts. I shouldn't have done that, So the aches and the pains are definitely coming for sure. My doctor might have been right. By the age of 35, I might not be able to walk.
Do you have any fears that, like, I might be pushing it too far? Like I might be like, I shouldn't be doing this, or like, does that ever come inside? Or do you like just say, you know what? I'm in the Brooke, I'm gonna just go with it, and my body is strong enough.
Yeah, you know what I always say in life, I never wanted what ifs. So I always always go with the flow.
I think I might use that.
When I was in fitness, I was very comfortable where I was at. Like, I was doing fine with my life, my income, everything like that, and I was very content with where I was. And then WWE had approached, and I was like, oh my God, this is brand new to me. And then I kept thinking, what if I don't take this opportunity, right? What if 10 years down the road, I look back and been like, I coulda, woulda, shoulda? Because you can always go back to doing that, right? You can always go back to where you came from. And that's what I find is difficult for a lot of women. They're always finding it difficult to make that next step or to take that jump. And I always say, do it. Because you don't want what ifs in life. You never want to know in your mind, oh, I could have done this or I should have done it. Just do it, right? And at the end of the day, if you don't like that end result or anything like that, you can always go back to where you came from. But from a danger standpoint, there's been times where I'm like, this is not good, but hey, why not? Let's try it and we'll see what happens. So no, I really don't think I've ever, had any fears in life. But the biggest thing is, with this job, it takes a lot of time away from your family. So there's been times where, I'm engaged now and I have, stepchildren where I'm like, I'm on the road. What am I doing? I'm taking time away from growing my family, watching the kids grow. So that's definitely a hard pill to swallow, but this is what I'm doing to provide for my future family. So I can retire young and live my life and, at the end of the day, provide for myself and my future family.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. And it's actually, I want to stay on that topic because it's rare that you see a person take on, stepchildren and be as supportive as they would be as the biological.
Yes.
And I applaud you for that. That's kind of how I grew up. My background is I don't know my biological father, but the man that my mother married was there every day from PTA to baseball to basketball. So I changed my mind. I want to be a football player, a basketball player, everything. He says, whatever you want, I'll support you. And I just love that about you.
No, that's beautiful,
Yeah.
Because I always say children are the future of our generation, right? So we have to be the light in their life. And it's hard for me to say, stepchildren, I said it now, but they're my bonus babies because yes, one day I want to be a mother, but they're my kids. I treat them like my kids.
They're going to be along that journey.
Yeah, I want, I enrolled them in the Miami Heat junior camp, 2 basketball camps in the summer. They're in football.
Oh, wow,
And I try and be there all the time. And then recently they were like, hey, can you be a pal parent or something like that where I volunteer at their schools and things like that. And they're like, oh, I think it would be so cool. Everybody knows who you are. You're Dana Brooke and things like that. So it's when I come home, I take that WWE superstar hat off and I put,
the mom hat on.
Yeah, bonus mommy hat on.
Yeah.
And we just roll with it. But, props to your stepfather. I think that's truly amazing.
Yeah.
And, one day if you're a bonus father to children, they're going to appreciate it that much more too.
Absolutely. So let's go back into the fitness world where, when I look at you now, you're talking about mommy things, but to me, Dana, you look like you're only 22 years old. So what is your secrets for the person that's watching you to stay so young, so relevant? Like, do you eat only vegan? Do you use certain skin creams? What do you do to stay, obviously, Dana Brooke?
So, I had to transition a lot from the bodybuilding lifestyle into the WWE lifestyle. And the key answer is a healthy lifestyle, healthy balance. Because not a lot of people know this, but coming out of the fitness and bodybuilding world, as I had told you before, was eating every 2 hours and, being on schedule and dieting. Life happens.
Wait. Eating every 2 hours?
Yes,
oh my
every
God.
2 hours. And because, your body it's like a car. You have to fuel it constantly.
Okay.
And with WWE, it doesn't work like that because we're flying all the time. Time changes are happening. We're on the road. We're trying to find food as far as restaurants or hotel food or gas station food when we're driving. And bodybuilding and fitness is a 24-hour look. You dial in for that stage moment and then you jump off stage and then there's water retention and you're eating and you're putting on weight. And it develops a lot of body dysmorphia for females, right? Because you always want to look your best. And then I was actually going through that, transitioning from my fitness world into WWE. And if you go back to around 2014, 15, and 16, I put on a lot of weight and I wasn't happy with myself. And I kept telling myself man, I'm doing the same thing but not getting the same results. But it was the stress, it was the anxiety, it was me trying to force myself into things that I wasn't doing before and trying to adapt a new lifestyle. So I totally changed it all and, I ate consistently but not every 2 hours. I, picked healthy options. And then on, a day, I always pick Tuesdays because I come home on Tuesdays and then I would kind of have a cheat day, eat my cheeseburgers or, I'm a big chocolate fan, so cookies or ice cream or something like that. And just take my, my Tuesday and eat whatever I wanted. And then on Wednesday, I would jump back on that healthy lifestyle and find a balance. Balance is key in everything, not your personal life, your work life, your eating life. So it's just always been a healthy balance for me. I work out every single day. My fiance is a professional fighter. He's a boxer, bare knuckle fighter.
Shout out UD.
Yeah.
Big boy, what's up? What's happening, UD?
And so I started boxing with him and training. It was a totally different schedule for me, but it's helped me tremendously in the ring. So I, changed my workout routine up. Yeah. And I feel great. I feel amazing. And, with skincare, a lot of people in work, they roll out of the ring, they get dressed, and they leave their makeup on. We have, full hair and makeup all the time at every single show. But it's very important to take that makeup off, let your pores breathe, use proper skincare. And,
Are vitamins important? Like, you think vitamins important, or is that?
Yeah, vitamins are definitely important, but I always, tell people the nutrients are in food, because they also put additional things in vitamins and pre-workouts and supplements that you take. The best thing is, eat clean, drink a lot of water, stay super hydrated, and that's, I find, the key to success.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Because everybody says you got to drink a lot of water and take vitamins before you go to sleep. But I feel like that's not always the right answer, though.
I always say you are what you eat, if you're putting shit in your body, if you're putting burgers or pizza, you're going to look like shit. If you're eating, your vegetables or your fiber drinks and eating, healthy. I tried vegan, but it was like a lot of carbohydrates for me. And I feel the older I get, carbs stick on me like anything, and I can look at food and gain 5 pounds. So I try and do, moderate carbohydrates. But vegan, when you're eating vegan and no meat, you're eating carbohydrates like crazy. I definitely say moderation is key.
Okay, so what do you say to the girl that's trying to be Dana Brooke, who has a lot of, she's coming from adversity, she's coming from the bottom, and she has a lot of people telling her she can't do it. What would be your words of encouragement to her to keep pushing that you can be here?
I always say use that negativity to drive you forward. Always, haters are your motivators. And still to this day, I have haters online all the time. Yeah. Social media could be a blessing, but it can also be a curse.
It can be anxiety, right?
Yeah, completely. And as we were talking before, we don't like drama in our life, right?
Zero.
And a lot of those people online just want to be like you. They're keyboard warriors, trying to get your goat, trying to get at you, and they want a response from you. The best thing is just to turn your head and keep on going and just do it, because you never know if you don't try, right? So if I didn't take that step into WWE from fitness and bodybuilding, I wouldn't be sitting here with you, So it opens up endless opportunities to just trying, and you can always fall back to where you were before. I had a lot of adversity in my life too. When I was wrestling, my ex-boyfriend passed away suddenly when I was in Boca, and it made me soul search a lot, right? Because it was like a fresh start. I'm like, okay, now what? I'm alone, I'm by myself. I didn't know anything besides him, work, come home, train, and be with him. So it did a lot of soul searching, and I found what I liked, what I didn't like, and things that I needed to change. So I really just focused on myself. And it made me so happy because I cut everything out that was negative in my life. I focused on all my positives, and I found new hobbies, things that I loved. And, for a young Dana Brooke out there, is just keep moving forward. If you feel like you're in a spot that you hit a plateau, find that next step. Take 5 minutes, take a day, take a week, and just find what makes you happy and go forward. Life is too short. I always say that. So just constantly find your purpose.
Yeah, when that passing happened, it hit worldwide. I remember when that hit the news, and I thought of you right away because you two were like glue.
Yeah.
You didn't see him without seeing you, and I didn't know you at the time, but since you guys were so compatible, I just wonder how that. And it's good to see your transition, and I think that's a positive message to everybody out there. You got to soul search and discover who am I to move forward.
Exactly, and you know what? I remember telling his mother, like, oh, I'm never gonna love again. Like, you're kidding me. Like, you're crazy. She's like, no, one day you're gonna, find the love of your life, and you're gonna. I'm like, no, no, no. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. But I always say, from a negative, turn it into a positive. And it took me a very long time to actually find Yuli, but it was the perfect timing. Timing is everything, and it was perfect because I was like an open book. I didn't have baggage. I didn't have anything, holding me down. I was just like, here, this is me. And the only thing I ask from you is don't disrespect me. That's it, because I'm giving you all of me, and this is the best version of me. And it was the perfect time. And we're two peas in a pod now. Yeah. And, my past has helped me be the person I am and be the best version of myself. And now we're two peas in a pod, and we're, I always say living happily ever after.
Yeah, I pray to God.
Yeah.
So let's stay on that, because a lot of guys ask me this, and I'm gonna stay on this topic real quick. If I'm a banker, if I'm a lawyer, or if I'm just a real estate broker, do I have a shot at a woman who works out 24/7?
Of course.
No, because they don't feel that way. Like, for example, in your past, you dated guys who've been in great shape, right? Just from what you can see on your track record. But guys say, man, I could never. They have this insecurity that I can't get the girl who's like totally in shape because, I sell property for. I'm a developer, or I do surgery and I got a belly. Like, what? Do they, or are they living in a dream world, or is it confidence?
No, they definitely have it. Yeah. You just have to be open. You have to just, you can't be stuck in that business mind all the time. And I find that a lot of men are stuck in that work 24/7. They work, they come home, they work, then they go out, they're on their phones working, and then they go back to work. Like, you just have to leave work kind of.
They go out and they're kind of like, they don't know anything but work.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have to find that balance again. And the girl that's in shape and likes to work out, maybe she can, you guys can go walk on a beach or take a walk around the park or find a happy balance.
They're super intimidated though. I mean, these are my friends. They are super intimidated for the girl that's like Dana Brooke, who's super in shape. She's got super flat stomach and everything is just perfect. And they're like, even though they have the finances for it.
Yeah, but money is not everything.
It's not everything.
It's not everything.
Okay, so money isn't everything.
No, it's not. And I think people think money is everything. And I think that's where the guys get
Men definitely do, yeah.
Yeah, that's where the guys get intimidated. Because for me, for example, I'm content. And the only two things are time, because my time is very limited, and just being there for me and supporting me. That's not financially, but in decisions in life. And I find that's key. But men find it like, I have to buy her this, I have to do this. If I'm a banker, doctor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the person that comes to your mind.
Yes, and it's really not.
Especially with a Dana Brooke, like that you're like. I think a man would say, I'm in for. I got to budget this much just for Dana.
Yeah, but I'm so simple, right? So like when you might see someone walking, and again, appearance is everything. So I like to look my part, look very nice and well kept, but I'm so simple. Like every day my hair's up in a messy bun. I'm in workout clothes. I like to laugh. I like to have fun, and I'm just super outgoing. And if you're giving me time and you're supporting me, that's everything to me. So I think you just have to find out who the woman is. And listen, I come from Cleveland, living in Miami, and I see these women, and I'm like, oh my God, you're so shallow. What are you doing? Just live.
God, yes. Oh my God,
just live.
Here? Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, I'm like, just live for you. Life is, you'll be so much happier if you stop portraying this image.
That won't happen.
I know. It is sad. It's so sad, but
that won't happen.
Again, it's.
But that image kind of crosses over to the guy. So the guy's thinking now, everything you just said to me is like winning the Powerball. It's like winning lotto. It's like that never happens. Like you got to go outside of Miami, outside of the U.S. to find that.
Right.
Because my friends are gonna go, like, I just closed a massive deal. I'm opening this new development in Boca. I got some money, but there's no way I have a shot with somebody like a Dana Brooke. She's in the gym. She's got long blonde hair, blue eyes. Man, come on, me, no way. She'll go with Elon Musk before she go with me, and they feel like insecure. even though they have it. So I'm trying to say, they're like, do I have to get in the gym? Do I have to lose 20 pounds?
No, you have to have the best personality ever and just literally be there for them, support them. Because if you look at Elon Musk, for me, for example, I would never go for an Elon Musk.
Really? He's the number one guy in the world financially.
But that's not I'm so complacent, like content with my life. You know, I have a roof over my head. I have food to eat. I can, drive a nice car. I provide things that are fine for me. But he doesn't have a fun personality.
No, he doesn't. He's very complete.
Found on the beach, or like for me, going to a comedy club or a horseback. No, it's always work.
Right.
And that's just
so you have a
not me.
life-work balance between WWE and
yes,
okay.
for sure. And like, but for example, a person like one of your friends or whatever, they have to find that balance.
I agree with you. Now they're saying that I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your definition of that balance? Like, what's your of fun for you? That balance that they can listen to this and say, I want to do that as my balance. Like, what's your definition of just fun?
Fun is honestly watching a movie, watching a Netflix series, I love sports, going and watching a fun football game, going to a concert. My clubbing days and stuff like that are like over.
We're too old for that. Yeah, that's over.
I love a nice fun dinner and
a nice lounge.
Yeah, super nice lounge, and then let's go home and turn on a movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm just never home. My life is like so busy. So it's so crazy to say, but Yuli and I are such homebodies. Yeah. It's hard to get us out. It really is.
Yeah, you need a man.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. That's good. How long have you guys been actually together?
Going on 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's
amazing.
Where did you guys meet? Like, what city did you guys meet?
So it was funny. We met on FaceTime. I was on the road.
Okay.
He was living in Miami. He actually, I don't know if you're familiar with like the fighting world, but Yoel Romero was his coach, the UFC fighter.
I don't know that.
So
I know UD, right? Because his background well. Yeah.
So he was training under him, and I moved back to Boca at the time, and Yoel was like, I see you're back in Boca. I have one of my fighters that's fighting tomorrow. His weigh-ins are in Fort Lauderdale. He's like, want to meet up for lunch? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so I go to the restaurant that we're at, and I'm waiting there with my friend. It's 1 hour goes by, 2 hours go by. I'm like, where the hell are these people? Like, I'm not staying here forever. So I call him. He's like, hey, my fighter got dehydrated. We had to go back down to Miami to get an IV to hydrate. And Yoel doesn't speak like very good English. And when you're living in Miami, you have to know Spanish.
You have to.
Like
you won't make it.
I'm like, hola,
you will not make it in Miami if you don't speak at least a little bit of Spanish.
Yeah, and the funny thing is it's Dale or something, and it's Dale. So I'm like, Dale? They're like, no, it's Dale. I'm like, what's that mean, Dale? They're like, no, let's go. Okay, yeah, whatever. So Yoel hands the phone to Yuli, and I look, and I'm like, oh my God, like there's something special about this guy, but he looks crazy. Like he looks out of this world crazy. And he's like, we're at such and such, whatever address it is, all right.
So you went from Boca to Miami for this guy?
But I was in Fort Lauderdale already because we were supposed to meet up for lunch.
Here. Okay.
And so he's like, if you come, Yoel's like, if you come down here, my fighter will get hydrated and then we can go get some food. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I drive down to Miami. I get to Miami. He's not there. It's Yoel that's there. And so we eat at Sushi Sake down there.
Okay.
And
Sushi Sake is a spot for those who, when you come to Miami, you got to go to Sushi Sake.
Yes, it's so good.
It's so good.
And so we were down there, and I was like, where's your fighter? And he's like, no, he had to go home. He has a fight tomorrow. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So then my friend, we leave. She's like, I want to go to the fights. I was flying out to New York on tour for 2 weeks. So I find Yuli on Instagram. Again, I slid in his DMs. I was like, hey, my friend wants to go to your fight. Is there an extra ticket? And he's like, yeah, contact this person. So then I gave it 2 days, and then I was like...
Wait. He told you to contact somebody else, and this is the fiancé now?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So but he was in fight mode, you know what I mean?
Okay,
he was dialed in.
Yeah.
And so I waited 2 days. I saw he won his fight. I was like, hey, congratulations on your fight. He's like, thanks. And then his little emojis were like praying hands, heart. I'm like, all right, this guy's not interested.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like he's that's what I'm saying. So
right. So then
I didn't want to say that. Yeah.
midweek, he's like, are you from here? Like, he then started contacting me more. And then I was like, yeah, but I'm on the road for 2 weeks. And then you know how it is when you're not seeing somebody you never met. It's the little social media or texting back and forth. You think it's going to die out.
Shit, if Dana Brooks in my DM, I have to call the bank right now. I need a loan.
Yeah.
So they going to put her in a private jet. That shit, I don't care if I go broke.
So we started talking and we were FaceTiming the entire time, like 2 weeks. And when I landed, he was in my driveway at home, and we've been stuck ever since. It was like my best friend from the moment we met. It was honestly like amazing. And then it was like the perfect time because the pandemic hit, and we were working out of Florida, so I wasn't traveling as much.
Oh, so you spent a lot of time together.
Telling you, when I was like, oh my God, I don't know if this is going to work, because it was a transition for me.
Oh,
I didn't know what home was like. I hadn't lived in a home for 8 years of my life. I was constantly on the road. So I was like, I didn't know what a closet was. I didn't know what a kitchen was. I didn't know what a washing and dryer was. If I needed clothes, I would go to the mall and buy clothes. You know, I was living out of a suitcase.
Right.
And now here I am stuck with a guy that I don't even know how to live with myself, let alone another person. But no, it was perfect. It was perfect. And then a year in, I moved down, to Miami, and we've been here ever since.
All right, that's amazing. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. Do you have a significant other?
In Miami, I'm going to tell you it's
It's hard.
Yeah, I like to say this. I'm outside right now. Like I'm trying not to. Every time I think Abby was telling me this too, a friend of ours, is that so I live not too far from here. When you live in this area, I drive a nice car like yourself. My image, I think, brings me the non-Dana Brooks, the ones who want the lifestyle, who want to be under me, who think that they can be the shallow ones. So I try, no offense to anybody who lives in Miami, but I try to meet my significant other outside of Miami.
No, it's totally understandable.
Here it's all about,
image.
Yeah, image. And I think that when you have that image, they go for it.
Yeah.
It's not love. Like I kind of want somebody who, if I didn't have, if I didn't have the things the assets that I have, that could take me back to it. Like if I fell rock bottom, not knock on wood. God knows I don't want to.
But that woman would stand by your side.
She would stand by me.
Yeah.
I don't think that's in this city.
No, it's
not. To be honest with you, yeah. I don't think that's here. Yeah. So when I do travel a lot, I do. Nobody on your caliber. This is. I thank God that I'm here, but I work in the creative space, and I haven't even. I kind of invested a lot into one person who I thought was, and then at the end I found out wasn't, and it was like a lot of, not just financially, it was a lot of emotion, a lot of things lost. So I'm keeping myself like kind of guarded, keeping a guard up.
Of course,
and
you have to.
And just straight work.
That's
and
it.
Straight work.
That's what I was for, that transition period as I was speaking before. And then when you're not looking, maybe that right person will definitely come. But you have to keep me posted. I gotta definitely do a background check on her first.
Yeah.
To make sure.
I'm gonna send it to you. Make sure she's not out for the check.
She passes that test with me, 100.
Because everybody right now, I feel like is just out for the check. They come to the spot. They're like, oh my God, that's the ocean. That's your car. Like can I have one too? And I'm just like, no,
you're like, wait, go. There's the door.
We just met. Like, nah, you gotta go. And that's Miami. So.
For sure.
No, I think my friend said go to Minnesota. Cause he's from Minnesota.
The middle of nowhere.
He said go to the middle of nowhere, like leave the country. Cause I feel when you're in your 30s, like, and to everybody, when you get like mid 30s, like kind of late 30s, you really want to cash in. You want to settle down. Like you want to just fuck the dating, fuck all this shit.
Life isn't our thing.
Yeah, like you want to share it with you, cause I feel like people in entertainment, we kind of retire 40s and 30s, and you have enough to say, I want to share with somebody, and that's where I'm at.
You want to travel, you want to see the world, you
want
to go on vacation.
But our career take us there, though,
yes.
right? Yeah. So our career take us to traveling, but it's not the same when you got somebody you really love by your side with you.
Exactly.
Because you're going to share that with you.
100.
So even though I travel a lot, I feel like, man, like it would be dope if I had like a nice something by my side that I really want to invest in.
Exactly. I totally get you.
Yeah. But you got it now though.
I know, but it was hard for a minute.
It was hard for like a couple years though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, he comes with me, he drives me places, and then now, you know, we have the kids full time too, so I come home and I miss the kiddos too. So when I'm home, he's like, "You want to go somewhere?" I'm like, "No, I want to stay with the babies."
Yeah.
So it's definitely a balance, but one day you're gonna find it. 100.
So when exclusive, like when do we was date? Like when are we thinking? Like
we want
fall,
11/11 of 22 because 11/11 equals 22. And we want to do something super small, and then when our time allows, because he fights Friday,
right?
And his fightings, you know, pop up sporadically. My traveling, and again, like I'm not a Madonna. When I first got engaged and we started like planning, I'm like, this is too much for me. I'm like, I can't plan for this. You want me to pick out my napkin colors? I go, I don't care. Put a white napkin down. You know, what is it? And my sister was like, no, Ashley, like they literally ask you what color plates you want. I go, I don't have time for this right now. Like if we can just do something small and then go to the Bahamas and do a destination where I invite a whole bunch of people, and then it's like one big party for everybody. You know, we get married, then we go to dinner, then it's a party, then the next day we spend time on the beach, and it's a vacation for everybody. So that's the way we want to do it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love that. That's amazing. So let's go. I wanna kind of transition back into the beauty world versus WWE a little bit. So obviously you're flawless, but when you're in the ring, like you say that women are pulling on your hair, they're scratching you up, they're doing this, and you still come out like
I come out a hot mess. I go in looking great.
You do come out a hot mess a little bit, yeah.
You know,
but what's the key to staying good hair?
So we have hair and makeup on, you know, staff 24/7 at the shows. Mm-hmm. And before this, you know, I've worn extensions for quite some time, and everyone's like, well, why don't you wear your natural hair? I'm like, you don't understand. I go, girls are pulling on my hair 24/7. I don't want real chunks of hair coming out if I wore my natural hair. Yes, so the extensions protect it. Before I was wearing aqua extensions, I had extensions falling out of the ring where they would be visible out on the ring, and the ref would have to go like this and like put it in their pocket. So like, yeah, my hair was always, you know, being exposed. But with aqua, it's great. As we were talking before, I can leave my extensions in for about 6 to 7 months without, you know, changing anything. They stay in great. You guys launched a new line of hair, which is awesome because I have like the blended root, like a darker root on top that goes into the blonde, and you guys launched the extensions that have a darker root on the top.
And you're wearing them now, I believe. Yes.
And it's awesome too because when my hair's flipping, you don't see the bright blondes.
Can I drop this in? She is the first one to wear the new collection. Before it was introduced to the public, we put it on her first before anybody to try it out, and I think it looks amazing. It's the first one in the world. I
absolutely love it. Yeah. And I highly recommend it too, especially, you know, it's not only, you know, wrestlers that are flipping and doing crazy stuff. It's, you know, artists and rappers that are on stage performing, doing concerts, and, you know, TMZ is the first thing to capture whatever if a track's showing, or, you know, and
I really like TMZ, but yeah.
Yeah, aqua extensions, like with this root blend that you guys have going on, you don't see it at all.
It's exclusive.
It's awesome.
It's a Dana Brooke exclusive, yeah. So when I got the call from your manager, your agent, saying that you wanted to do you know, more hair, I told Avi, I said, listen, this would be the first. I think we should try this out with her first. And she was like, no, I know what kind of hair she uses. She's been with us for a while. I said, no. She hasn't experienced a new product yet. Let's rock it out.
Yes.
So we sent you 5 packs of the new one.
I love it.
Yeah?
It is awesome. And what I do is I use the tapes around, and then up front I use the keratin.
Yeah, the keratin,
yeah. Because I like to go high with them. So when I'm flipping around, you can't see them because they're little, keratin treatment that like stick on. So I go up top with the keratin beads, and then back here I do the tape-ins, and it works great.
That's amazing.
And I never have a problem with it. I remember a couple years back, well, many years back, since I've been using Aqua for a very long time, we had another brand, and it was before Royal Rumble, and I was on the road forever, and I needed my hair done so bad. So my hairstylist, she bought a whole bunch of extensions. We put them in my hair. I waited hours to go by before I could wash my hair. As soon as I washed my hair, I'm in the hotel room. They all are falling out, like coming out of my hands in the, bathtub. I start crying, screaming. My hairstylist and I were up until 5 a.m. trying to put it on before Royal Rumble. It was a disaster. I was like, I can't use this hair anymore. And the best thing about Aqua too is it's located in Fort Lauderdale, and
it's
that
home,
is
home base.
It's home,
Yeah.
right? So whenever we need to go, we go and we drive and get it. And your remover, the extension remover,
yeah,
flawless. The oils and the conditioners, flawless. I mean, my hair is in perfect condition. Like when I take it out, it's not damaged at all, which is amazing too, because I've heard so many horror stories with girls ripping their tapes out and chunks of hair come out because the remover doesn't work. I'm like, you have to try Aqua. It's the way to go for sure. So I know a couple of my coworkers wear Aqua as well too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I want to tackle something that I love about you a lot, is that you give back to the community.
Yes,
And
a lot.
Can you tell us about your charities and how you give back to?
Yeah, most definitely. So Yuli and I actually started a charity. It's called Fighting versus Hunger. We do it in Miami, and we give back to the homeless. So we've partnered up with the Miami Dolphins, and they provide us meals. And we go out downtown Miami, and we feed the homeless. We have like a whole bunch of different spots, and we go and feed the homeless with that. We've partnered up with local businesses, and during the pandemic, small businesses that were still, up and running, and we would purchase a whole bunch of meals, and they would get it together, and supporting small businesses as well as fighting versus hunger. I also do a charity. It's not really a charity. It's more of a foundation. It's Don't Be a Bully, Be a Star, and it's an anti-bullying campaign where we go to Boys and Girls Club around the United States, also in Canada, and we've done
The whole U.S.?
Yeah,
Wow.
we've done Europe as well, and it's teaching children don't be a bully, but be a star. And we tell them that cyberbullying is the #1 form of bullying, and how we've been bullied. So my coworkers and I, we go out and we do a rally, and we ask all the kids, like, oh, who's been bullied or whatever. And they're shy to say they've actually been bullied. So we're like, oh, anyone, have you guys been bullied? And they're like looking around. Some of the kids kind of like raise their hand. And then we're up front, and I ask the question, how many of us have been bullied? And we all raise our hand. And they are like, oh, you guys have been bullied? And I'm like, I still get bullied to this day. And we try and tell them like how it makes us feel. So we're instilling a positive message for, them moving forward, how it's not nice, and, you want to be a star, and we've been bullied too. So I do a lot with that. I work with UNICEF.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I give back with UNICEF, and I go to a lot of their galas and events like that and make, donations. What really touches me is women. I'm very big on women empowerment. And with UNICEF, little girls don't have the feminine products that they need. So they're missing school for, a week with their feminine issues. And so that kills me inside, because no kid should go with not being provided with proper, hygiene or care. And that really affected me. So I'm always trying to give back with UNICEF, and Special Olympics too. That holds a special place in my heart, because these kids are trying and they're so happy, and they just don't understand. They don't think they have a problem. They think it's normal, right? And that's their normality. And I love it, because they're the most happy kids. They're happy-go-lucky. They're doing sports. They're trying to live their life, and it just brings so much joy, to my heart. So community work is
that's
definitely
amazing.
one of my things. I
Yeah.
love it. I absolutely love it. And that's one of the things that WWE gives us, that platform to be able to go out and help others.
Absolutely. This segment is relationships.
Okay.
The ideals of men versus the ideals of women about how they think.
Women know everything. Just say yes. That's all.
That's
That's
the
it and that's
answer.
all.
That's the answer.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We have a little input though. A little
Yes.
input.
Okay. I guess just a little.
Just a little bit. A little bit. So the first thing that comes to mind when you see Dana Brooke is physical. Obviously she's. I mean, what we say in the street, she's a dime piece. 1 to 10, flawless
Thank you.
10. But that's just physical. Like outside of the physical, what's the inside of Dana Brooke? Like, what do you
Oh
say?
my God. I am the most silliest, funniest, outgoing. I think I'm outgoing person ever. Again, too, I just like to have fun. Life is so short that, I'm always making jokes. I'm always laughing. I'm the worst singer ever, but I sing every single song.
You dance too?
Yeah, I dance, but some of the times I get the lyrics wrong. I just like to have a good time. And I think a lot of times people see me like on the streets or, in meetings or appearances, and they don't see that side of me because, I'm business, I'm Dana Brooke, I'm smiling and signing autographs and doing promos on TV. And sometimes I'm on, WWE being a heel, being the, bad girl on TV. But, when you get down to the nitty and gritty, I'm just a regular person, and I love to have fun and give back. And I'm human. I like to do normal things. And, but I would say I'm super silly. I like to have a good time. I like to laugh. I like the other person to make me laugh. And it's not only about looks, but
It's not about looks.
When I go out and I have, someone at my side, I like to look good together. It's like we're two magnets. And I always say this too, like when Yuli and I go on the red carpet and things like that, I like him to look well too, presentable, Louis Vuitton belt, Louis Vuitton bag or shoes. And we're always like trying to match. So yeah, physically is one thing, but you have to have a personality and a good heart. And I think my parents instilled that in me.
Yeah. Your parents still together?
Yeah, my parents are still together.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. So also too, like when I was a kid looking up to my idols, I remember writing letters and sending them to like my favorite gymnast or a song artist, and I never got anything back. Like no one ever signed anything. And I always try and do that for like little kids or people going through a hard time, or I get fan mail and I'm always signing things back. And when we're out to dinner, if I'm out to dinner with somebody or people, and someone comes up to me and they're like, "Oh, can I get a picture and autograph?" I'm like, yeah, no problem, as soon as I'm finished. And they're like, "Why would you do that? Like, don't they know like you're out having a good time? Why would they come up to you?" I'm like, "No, it's fine." When I was a little girl, I would want to do the same thing. So I'm just, I'm human. I like to just be normal and have fun and act silly and, lay in bed and watch movies, eat popcorn, ice cream.
Oh, you're so down to earth.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
super down to earth.
Yeah. Okay, so you're getting ready to put the ring on. You're getting ready
Yes.
to be the wife. Now, I guess where I come from, we call it the honeymoon phase, where when you get married and for the first 2 years, everything goes right. You're totally in love, you're inseparable. But after that, it's how do I hold on to my marriage? How do I hold on to my
Right.
husband? How do I hold on to my wife? How do I keep the relationship strong? How do I keep the intimacy strong? What do you think the key to longevity in marriages, going into a marriage for the first time?
I always say you want to be with your best friend. Like you have to find a best friend before you find a lover, because appearances change it when you get older. You don't look like the same person when you were 20 or 30 or 40. Appearance kind of, slowly deteriorates if you're not taking care of yourself. So you have to find your best friend. You have to find somebody that vibes with you on the same level, that likes the same things you do. And I always say communication is key. Like sometimes women feel super guarded and they have their walls up and they don't know how to let their guards down. Or women think, men don't know how to communicate, which is hard. I know like a lot of men are, alpha male and don't like to, communicate or very to themselves, but communication is key. And, women always, we love drama, we love gossip and this and that. But I think if you both are an open book and you both like the same things and fight, you have to go into it knowing that there's going to be obstacles, just like everything in life. There's hurdles and there's obstacles to everything that you put your mind to, and you're putting your mind into marriage, and that's lifelong. So you have to understand that there's going to be obstacles and there's going to be problems and there's going to be fights, and that's normal. We're individuals. I'm an individual and you're an individual. We're not going to agree on the same thing all the time. So you have to go in with that mentality that we might disagree on a lot, but we have to find a common ground and communicate to be able to find, that balance. And it's okay to disagree. Having disagreements is only going to be able, you guys are going to be able to find out that you guys can fight. And I think that relationship period is going to be able to tell if you guys can really work it out. I've seen relationships that, they've been together for 10 years and then they decide to get married and then it's just like kind of stagnant.
Yeah, I've seen that too. And then you kind of fall not out of, so I think in the beginning of a relationship, you're like totally infatuated.
Right.
In every way. And then after time goes by, you start to, I guess, your head starts to turn.
Right.
You start to wonder, what if I was with her? Or what if I was with her? Like, would my life be different? Would it be more exciting, intimately? Like, you have these what ifs in your back of your mind.
Yeah,
but,
most definitely.
But then it's rare. Like, I see these other couples who have been together 20 plus years who say, I don't even look the other way. I don't even notice this person.
No, and that's literally now almost 3 years, and I feel like I've known him a lifetime. There's not one fiber, one bone in my body, nothing that would make me look the other way because our communication's great. We trust one another 100%. We're together all the time. He knows what I'm doing 24/7. But we keep things spicy. And that's another thing. If you're trying to see if the grass is greener on the other side, you're not doing something yourself. And that's trying to, make something happen or spicy. And I completely understand that separation happens, but you just have to be honest and have that talk. Again, communication, and say, listen, before you go to that next level and cheat, sit down and be like, listen, something needs to change here. I'm not feeling the same vibe. We've lost this. We've lost that spark. Can we get over it, Or just try before you go and do that, because once you cross that line, it's super hard to come back.
You can't come back.
No, there's no coming back. So I think definitely to that answer is communication, keeping things spicy, and find your best friend.
Wow. So I think I just changed my philosophy on relationship, was to find a friend first, you're saying. To find a friend first that you can build with and then establish a relationship.
Yes, but attraction is, like I've said 100 times on this, attraction is key. So yeah, you definitely have to find someone you're attracted to, but see if you can be best friends with them.
First.
Yeah, most definitely. A lot of people have one night stands. They go out, then they end up.
Not now though. I think when you're 20,
Yes.
Yeah. Not now. I think at least myself. I'm not. Even if it's open to me, I don't take it. I know there are times where I feel like, man, I could really take her back to the crib and just cancel it after that. But it's not really appealing because there's so much in your life that you want to grow with somebody.
Exactly.
So we're all looking to grow, but we're all I think we all have boxes we have to check off to grow with somebody. And a lot of those boxes, people aren't sure that those boxes are correct. So looking for people like ourselves to kind of guide them into ways where these are the boxes you need to check off to get to where you are with UD.
Yeah, and that's key too, because I still to this day, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? You've done it before. Are you sure you want to do this again? Like, he's like, I mean, yeah, we're gonna be together if we're married or not, and I think marriage. A lot of times people are like, I don't want to get married. It's perfect the way we are. But then also too, marriage is a bond. It's that feeling and connection till death do us part. And coming from a background where my parents are still together and they're married, it's like, amazing. Yeah, I want that, and not necessarily like the whole big glamorous wedding. That's not what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that bond that's going to last forever. And that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love that. So the next question I have for you is career. So you two are in a career where travel is essential, and it pulls you guys apart.
Yes.
How do you secure that bond when you're away so much from each other?
It's very, very difficult, and I find that to have been challenging in previous experiences where they just don't understand. Why are you gone? Who are you with? Why are you with half-naked men? Why, like all these questions, and it's like, this is my job, and like in movies, right? Actors are with actresses, but it doesn't. Sometimes people create that bond, but other people look at it as a job, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my job, and for example, I got married on TV, and I had a relationship with a male on TV. Mm-hmm. And Yuli understood that, look, this is my job. This is the way I'm getting paid. There's no physical attraction between us, between me and this other person. He knows about you. I know about his, wife. There's nothing here, and you have millions of people watching this. You have cameras in your face. You have a boss behind, backstage looking the way that you do things. Another thing is one week I was on TV and I had to kiss, this guy. And
we all saw that. Yeah.
My hair was in my face, so you couldn't see the kiss. That's what they were worried about was, oh, your hair was in your face. Not the way that
I was. We saw the kiss.
Yeah, but that's what my bosses are worried about. So there's no physical attraction. So the week was like, hey, you need your hair back. So I'm thinking of 1,000,001 things. My promo, what to say. I'm not thinking about an emotional attachment. And that's amazing about my, Yuli. And I think a lot of actors out there that have a significant other is the trust is there. It's always there. And, thank God we have FaceTime these days too, because I'm not one to talk on the phone all the time. Like I can text you, but I don't talk on the phone. Oh. But with him and I is like we're FaceTiming, we're taking pictures of everything. We're constantly communicating.
The trust is there.
The trust is there, 100%. And that's a huge part of our relationship, and I trust him like immensely. But we're always together and we're traveling. He knows everybody backstage. I know everybody, in his environment, in his world. And the first question is like, oh, how's Yuli? Or how's Dana? So it's like, we're out there. We have nothing to hide. And he would be stupid to throw something away like this. I hate to say it, but he would be stupid.
I don't think he would.
And,
I don't think you would because you guys look so good together on the red carpet, on your photos.
Yeah.
When you research you guys, it's like an ideal look. I mean, he's in great shape. You're in great shape. He has this like tall, dark, handsome thing, and then you got this blonde, blue-eyed thing. It's like literally a script how you guys had going on.
You know what? Doesn't it suck trying to meet somebody like? I don't want to do that ever again. Like if this doesn't work out, which it will work out, I'm never doing this again. Like I don't want to know your favorite color. I don't want to ask you what you like to eat. I don't want to come to your house and pack a bag and be nervous about, what I look like the next morning and run to the bathroom and put like fake eyelashes on. getting to know someone is super hard. So I don't want to do this dating stuff again.
No,
you know?
I don't think you will. I'm going to be the first to say that I think that you two will never, ever separate. I
But
think
isn't it hard getting to know someone?
it's the worst thing in life.
I know.
I think it's getting to know somebody is worse than finding a job. Like for those who out there who have to like create a resume and find a job, getting to know your paramour is the worst thing. Is because you got to worry about if I'm the right fit, if this is going to last. It's an investment.
For sure.
It's an investment for those who can afford or who can't afford to invest in the market or to invest in financial assets. It's the worst thing because it's not a secure asset. It's a gamble. It's like going to the casino. One party is usually, and then what I think about it, excuse me a second, is what I think one party is more invested in the other. It can be the woman or the man. The man is more invested in the woman, and the woman is more invested in the man, and then that party, the second party who's not as invested, usually comes around after a time.
That person already has kind of
already
fallen
invested.
off.
Not falling off, but kind of
falling back a little.
falling back a little.
Yes.
Yeah, because he or she went so hard in the beginning that they couldn't convince you that I'm dropping my heart, I'm dropping my bank account, I'm dropping everything to make this work. And then he or she comes around where it's like, okay, I'm finally convinced. And then
Right.
and the other person is like, damn, man, now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, I done did everything.
And social media too, like, and I love a good filter. Let's not get me wrong, but
You don't need it though, but okay.
people portray themselves so differently, right? They're not gonna post negative things on the internet. They post their best life. They post what makes them happy and filters and vacations, but they don't post their hard times, right?
Do they?
No.
Now?
I think like when you're looking at a woman, you're looking for, okay, yeah, look, she's hot. She's got a good job. She looks good. And then you see them in real life and sometimes you're like,
But they're posting their faults now too, though.
yeah, they are. They post everything.
Now they're posting their faults.
But social media can trick you.
It can. I would say, I've never met somebody online. I've never met somebody that I've dated or personally online.
So you've never done online dating?
Never, ever in my life.
Yeah,
no,
neither have I.
I love, me personally, I love the vibe of going out to like a lounge, like a nice restaurant, and just like kind of seeing where the vibe goes. And
yeah, this is better than this. Or this.
No, I don't like that.
You have to feel somebody out. That's why in the beginning with Yuli and I was like, this whole like FaceTime texting thing, I don't know, it might fall off. But it lasted, and thank God it did. But yeah, the whole feeling each other out on the phone. And sometimes, like, no lie, it can come off a little shy at first because I'm like, I don't know if you want to see my silly side yet or whatever. But with him, it was like, all bets are
I feel
off.
like he has a silly side too, because he's always joking on camera.
He's always super
even
funny.
like when he's fighting, he's kind of like still like laughing a little bit.
Yes, he has a great personality too. But yeah, no, I think back, circling all the way back to the marriage question, is your best friend.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
career-wise too, it's just trust.
Trust?
Yeah, trust is key.
Yeah, but you gotta establish that. Yeah, I agree. All right, so we're gonna wrap it here with a lovely Dana Brooke. Thank everybody for viewing, and thank you for your time.
That was great. I had so much fun. Thank you.
Likewise.
I got to learn a lot about you too.
Likewise.
That's awesome. Cheers.
All right, have a good night.